4 things Jurgen Klopp got right as Liverpool beat Norwich with Minamino double. Liverpool beat Norwich City 3-0 to book their place in the last 16 of the Carabao Cup thanks to goals from Takumi Minamino and Divock Origi. Jurgen Klopp made 9 changes from the team that beat Crystal Palace 3-0 at the weekend, with teenagers Cade Gordon and Conor Bradley handed debuts. The second-string side got off to the perfect start when Minamino fired home following a corner just 4 minutes into the match, with Divock Origi doubling the lead just after the restart. In between, Jurgen Klopp had to save a penalty after Bradley bundled Dimitris Giannoulis over as Norwich tried to hit Liverpool on the counter-attack. But the Reds ultimately progressed comfortably with Minamino scoring their 3rd goal to double his own tally as Daily Star Sport looks at the big calls Klopp got right. Klopp said before the game that Liverpool's ambition would be the same despite 9 changes to the first team that beat Crystal Palace at the weekend. And his team of second-string stars and promising youngsters went on the attack from the off, dominating the early stages with the same energetic attack and high-intensity pressing we're used to seeing from the Reds in the Premier League. It quickly paid off after their early pressure won a corner, with Minamino firing Liverpool ahead 4 minutes into the match to give Klopp's side control almost from the off. And the Reds were almost as quick to double their lead after the restart, with Origi heading home from Kostas Tsimikas' cross just 5 minutes into the second half. Klopp was always going to use the clash with Norwich as a chance for fringe players to impress, and his team selection paid off almost instantly with that opening goal. After the Reds won a corner, the ball was lofted into Divock Origi, who cushioned it into Takumi Minamino's path for the forward to turn and fire home. Having been the provider for the opener, it was Origi's turn to get himself on the scoresheet after the break when he found acres of space in Norwich's box to nod home from Tsimikas' delivery. Norwich were guilty of poor defending for both goals, but neither Minamino nor Origi will mind as they took their chances to show what they can offer. Minamino's opener was his first goal for Liverpool since December 2020, while his 2nd goal late in the game, and should further boost his confidence as he looks to show he can carve out a place in Klopp's first team thinking. Much of the pre-match hype centered around skillful winger Cade Gordon, with the 16-year-old looking lively on his Liverpool bow. He was one of 2 teenage debutants in the Reds lineup, with 18-year-old Conor Bradley also making his first senior appearance at right back. Gordon and Bradley linked up well together down the right flank during a dominant first half, often aided by Curtis Jones, who of course is still only 20. Bradley's positioning let him down when he bundled over Dimitris Giannoulis to give Norwich a penalty as Daniel Farke's side tried to capitalize on Liverpool's high line. Can Cade Gordon be Liverpool's successor to Mohamed Salah? Have your say in the comments below, but fans will forgive him for a moment of naive defending, especially as Jurgen Klopp saved a poor spot kick. And Gordon showcased his creativity early in the second half when opened up the Norwich defense with a delightful through ball from midfield, with Origi firing wide. Tyler Morton was also handed a debut when the 18-year-old replaced Naby Keita for the second half and impressed in the holding role. And with promising youngsters like this coming through, it bodes well for Liverpool's eventual evolution. With Liverpool playing a high defensive line, Norwich frequently threatened to expose space at the back, although they failed to make the most of what chances they had. Klopp sensed danger with 25 minutes left as he brought some experience off the bench, with Andy Robertson replacing Tsimikas. It proved an astute move from the manager, with Robertson snuffing out a couple of